Hey, this is Samantha here from RecipeThis.com and the voice behind the popular Kitchen Gadgets podcast, Magic with Gadgets. Today I wanted to show you just how easy it is to cook potatoes in the Ninja Foodi. We will be using both the pressure cooker and the air fryer to make perfect potatoes. They are kind of a fantastic meal prep option because you can make them in bulk and then use the Ninja Foodi to reheat them. And they're fantastic for when you have potatoes that are different sizes and you don't quite know what to do with them, because ours are kind of medium-sized potatoes, so they wouldn't be baby potatoes and they wouldn't be your classic baked potatoes, but they're just fantastic for a quick side dish for dinner. As well as this, we have more than 1,000 kitchen gadget recipes over at RecipeThis.com. From air fryer recipes to instant pot recipes to slow cooker recipes to soup maker recipes, plus bread maker recipes and many others. I recommend you head over there to check it out after watching this video and find your perfect recipe. So start by adding your water into your Ninja. I use about 1.5 cups of water when I'm doing my potatoes, and then you place your air fryer basket into your Ninja. We're using air fryer basket instead of the steamer because when you are then transferring it to cooking using the air fryer function, it makes it quicker for you. And then once you've done that, it's a case of loading up your potatoes. You want to give them a couple of pricks with some forks, extra minutes to the cook time. And the reason I do this is mainly for meal prep, because then I've got lots of potatoes and they can be left in the fridge and then reheated and then used whenever we need them. And then for seasoning, we season twice. We season at the start now and again when we're adding the air fryer lid. The reason for this is because the pressure cooker strips some of the flavour and it just gives them that lovely taste that we associate with potatoes. I'm using salt, pepper and some rosemary. And then just give it a sprinkle on top. And then we are ready for pressure cooking. So place your lid on your pressure cooker and then set the valve to sealing. Cook your Ninja Foodi potatoes. Obviously we're starting with a pressure cook first, so you want to press the pressure cook button and obviously high pressure. I would normally be going with a cook time of 2 minutes because I normally do this with baby potatoes, but these potatoes are a bit bigger, so I'm opting for 5 minutes and then press start. So you want to give them the fork test. Let's see how far along they are. As you can see, that's well on its way to being cooked. You know, and once it's been with the air fryer, it'll be so much better. And as you can see, this one, which is much smaller, is perfectly cooked. So the bigger ones will be about 80% cooked, whilst the smaller ones will be cooked. So it just depends on how you like them. So then once they've cooked and they've done the pressure cook, we'll be changing things over to the air fryer. So firstly, be very careful when you're lifting it out because it is very hot. And then what I recommend you do is you get your inner pot with the water in and then you pour it into the bowl that you were originally using for mixing your potatoes with, because it just discards it and puts it to one side. Because you can air fry with the Ninja with the water still in, but I find that it adds extra liquid to them, and many people recommend that you don't do this when you're using the Ninja. So it's all about personal choice, really. And then add your potatoes back in, and then they are ready for round 2 of the seasoning. I recommend some extra virgin olive oil because obviously you want a crispy skin on those potatoes. Don't be shy, add a good bit. And then more pepper. Plenty of salt. We all love our potatoes with some salt, don't we? And then last on the list is some dried oregano. And then if you want, you can actually mix them about to make sure that the bottom ones are still getting it, but as you're loading these seasonings in, it naturally drips onto the bottom ones, so it doesn't matter. And then it's ready for the air fryer lid to go on. Place the air fryer lid down on your Ninja Foodi. So turn your Ninja back on, and this time you're looking for the air crisp, which is just there. And then to do these potatoes, we're going with 200 Celsius, that's 400 Fahrenheit, and a cook time of 10 minutes. This will just help crisp them up and finish the cooking process. So then press start. So the Ninja Foodi's just beeped, and I'm taking a look at the potatoes, and don't they absolutely look fantastic? If you'll notice, those on top will have the better crisp because I've double layered because I'm using them for meal prep. But if you just did one layer of potatoes, then you would have a crisp everywhere. For example, if you have a look at that side of it's not as crispy, but if you look at the other side, it's wonderful. So what you could do is you could reduce the cook time down to 5 minutes, turn them, and then do another 5 minutes. But it's up to you with how crispy you want them. But I just love them like this. And then what I do is I get a bowl ready, or a serving dish, and then I chop up a little bit of butter. So I do it into tiny little chunks. And then when you load in the potatoes, they'll get that lovely buttery coating without you having to melt the butter first, and it's wonderful. So I don't use a lot of butter. Just a little bit for it to make your potatoes taste delicious. So once you've got your butter ready, you can load your potatoes in there. Excuse me. Drop them. Quite heavy with this amount of potatoes in it. Oh, I lost a few. And there you have it. You've got absolutely delicious, perfect to cook potatoes. They're perfect for meal prep. The wonderful thing is, because we've seasoned them twice, they have a lovely rosemary and oregano coating on them, and you do not have to worry about some of the potatoes not being seasoned and others being seasoned, because they are perfect. And as you can see, that butter is nicely melting them, and I'll just show you there, that's one of the bigger ones, and that's perfectly cooked, and so is that one. And it just means that the little ones will be a little bit more delicate because, you know, they don't really need as long as the bigger ones, but they're absolutely perfect. And you just leave that butter to melt, and then they're ready for enjoying. So these are the potatoes, and I just really wanted to show you just how much the butter's melted just after a couple of minutes, and how what you can do is you can roll a potato in the butter and you've got a lovely buttery potato. They're absolutely delicious. And you know, my son Kyle is home at the moment, and he just walked in the room and said, just before we started recording this, and said, where's the cheese? So of course you can add some grated parmesan on top of them before you actually serve them on the dinner table, and then just have a good tray like this that you can load to the dinner table. Or like I suggested, you can also place this dish in the fridge and it's ready for meal prep for the week. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Recipe This family. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook and Pinterest. We also have a weekly newsletter at recipethis.com/newsletter, where we share with you our latest kitchen gadget recipes, what we're cooking in the Milner kitchen, and so much more. As well as this, we recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then whenever we have a new video, you will be the first to know. And if you want to know about all our future videos, then I recommend you hit the bell for instant notifications. But even better, we now have a podcast. It's called Magic with Gadgets. Simply search Magic with Gadgets on your favourite podcast player and you'll find us there.